Here with head coach David Dean. West Georgia was 1-0, and heading into week 2 against Limestone. You'll start off with some comments and then open up for questions.
Glad to be back at home again, second straight week. The schedule's been good to us the first 2 weeks, being able to open up in the friendly confines of Rayland Field. We're excited about this game, have another opportunity to play a SAC team, and again, like we talked about last week, this has got a lot to do with playoff implications way down the road, and the Gulf South Conference versus the South Atlantic Conference when it comes to playoff and jockeying positions. So hopefully we're going to be in the mix of talking about all that. But we're excited to welcome them in. Don't know much about them. We've never played them. This is a new rivalry that is starting up. So it's going to be exciting to line up against those guys for the first time and have an opportunity to play them.
Coach, going back to the game against Catawba this past Saturday, you had a chance, obviously, to look over the film. What stood out for you from positives and negative aspects, just looking back over the film from that game?
Well, how hard we played. I was really proud of our guys in the heat that we had. They were relentless and deep, especially defensively, pursuing to the football. I thought our effort was outstanding on offense, defense, and special teams, and hopefully that's going to continue to be a week-to-week basis, and we can stand up here and talk about that. Obviously, our defense and how well they played, to withstand the poor start that we had offensively. We left a lot of points on the board, a lot of points on the field, and put our defense in some difficult situations, and they were able to withstand that. And getting that turnover was big for us, and it kind of kick-started us there late in the quarter. But I was really proud of the way that they kept those guys out of the end zone. They shut down their pass game. They put tremendous pressure on the defense and on the quarterback from a defensive line standpoint, and that was exciting to see. And did a good job against their run. They're a good running football team. They're a physical football team, and I think we went nose to nose with them from a physicality standpoint. That's exciting to see.
There were a lot of penalties last week, a lot of penalties in the first half that really felt like prevented you guys from getting a larger lead earlier on in the game. Have you tried to do anything or try to make points of emphasis to get them to play cleaner, or that's just something you want them to work through as they keep growing?
No, it's always going to be a point of emphasis, especially if the penalties hurt drives, and that's unfortunately that's what we had. We had some penalties that were key to putting us behind the chains a lot of times, and we had some pass interference calls that we've got to just do a better job with our hands in the secondary and not hold so much and not grab those guys as they're starting to catch the football. But they're effort deals. When you're doing that and you're giving great effort, I can live with that a little bit more. We talk about it. We want to play penalty free if we can. It's not always going to happen. But what we've got to do is we can't have the penalties hurt drives and kill us and take momentum out of the game. And fortunately for us, early in the game it was doing that. But fortunately we got rid of those penalties, and that's when we started playing very well.
One issue you touched on after the game was in special teams and missing easy kicks. Throughout that first game, you threw quite a few guys out there, just to give them opportunities to kick. Is that something that you're going to do again this Saturday?
Well, we hope not. We're going to go in with our kicker, and hopefully he's going to be good. I'm not going to say who that is, obviously, for practice reasons. But we're going to go with our kicker, and hopefully he's going to go in and he's going to get the nerves out and realize that this is just like practice. Just go out and hit it. This is what I do best, and I'm going to kick it. But if not, we're going to have to make changes, and we're going to have to find the guy that's consistent. We had a great battle in summer camp with 5 or 6 guys, and we narrowed it down to who we wanted to go out and compete. We watched them in warm-ups to see who was kicking the best, and everything that we had in summer camp kind of lined up with what was happening in the pregame. But it didn't happen that way, and so we made some adjustments throughout. So we've just got to find that guy that's going to be consistent. Our punting was very good. Our kickoffs were very good. The placement of field goals and the extra points, that's what hurt us, and that's where we got to find that consistent guy that can do that every single time and not miss points. I mean, if you look at it, we missed 3 field goals, we missed an extra point. That's 10 points right there. We had 2 other opportunities where we were in the red zone and went for it on 4th down because I just didn't feel comfortable sending our field goal team out there. So that's another 6 points. We left 16 points that easily we could have had. Now, yes, we want to finish drives. We got to do a better job from an offensive standpoint of finishing drives, not settling for field goals. But when we do, we've got to convert those 3 points. And honestly, we left 16 points off the board that we really are going to need down the stretch.
What have been the main difficulties this week game planning for a team that you, for the most part, have never really seen or don't know much about?
Well, from a schematic standpoint, it hasn't been very difficult. Not to say that they're not a very difficult team, but it's a normal routine for us as coaches. Our big key and the thing that we faced, especially from practice yesterday, is we got the first game out of the way and the excitement and the buildup of the first game. And you move into the second game and it's like, oh, we got to do this all over again. We got to go back to practice again. And we didn't handle our Tuesday practice the way that I was pleased with. We're going to make a big emphasis today to practice much better. And I addressed that with the football team afterwards, that we must practice better. 1 in 10 is still a distinct possibility if we practice the way that we practiced yesterday. So hopefully they're going to take that challenge and they're going to come out and practice much better than they did yesterday.
This is a relatively new program in Limestone. They were fairly competitive in their first year in the SAC last year. Just kind of describe, just from what you've gathered, what they're going to be throwing at you on Saturday.
Well, they're very athletic. They have good speed. Unfortunately, they opened up with an FCS program in the first week of the season. They were leading 10-7. Went in at the halftime down 21-10, and I think the depth of Gardner Webb kind of made the difference in the game. Kind of like what happened with us. They kind of separated themselves from Limestone at the end. But they're very athletic. They play very hard. They look to be very disciplined in everything that they do from a defensive standpoint. Offensively, they can cause some problems with their throwing game. They have a quarterback that's 6'7". It runs pretty decent, and he's got a live arm. They got weapons all around. So they're going to be a balanced team. They're going to mix things up, and we've got to be sharp on all of our keys. But they're also a very good special team group, and for me, special teams is a huge part of what we need to be about. So we have to play very well on our special teams once again to match how good they are.
Coach, how do you, coming off a home opener victory, how do you keep in check the team not being too overconfident for this weekend, this coming game this weekend?
Well, I think a lot of it's got to be with, again, reminding our guys, what are our goals? Where do we want to be at the end of the year? Now, obviously, you want to take one game at a time, and the most important game that we have is Limestone, because that's the game that we play this week, and we can't worry about what else is happening around the conference, what else is happening around the country. We got to concentrate on what can West Georgia do? What does West Georgia have to do to win? So from a standpoint of being overconfident, after one game, I don't think we have that, because we know we didn't play our best, and we know that if we don't play our best, we could lose this football game on Saturday. So I think from a focus standpoint, our guys realize that. They see the mistakes that they made in the game and how they can correct that. But I think for the most part, our guys are still hungry to prove something. They want to prove that they're a good football team, and they're a team that can make a run at the end of the year. All right. Thank you.